The total communication spectrum of a country is a massive band of frequencies which can be used for various applications by various service providers and their clients. The spectrum is divided into smaller bands, and each band is allocated to respective service provider by the government body regulating the communications, such as FCC or Federal Communications Commission in US. The distribution can take place via auction, where the highest bidder gets the largest or the most convenient band, and if the bids are not high enough, the bands are leased to the companies fulfilling necessary requirements at base price. But unfortunately, this was not the case with India. In 2007, India was ready to expand their 2G networks to attract more customers and increase their quality of service. And to do so, DOT or Department of Telecommunication, which is FCC equivalent of India, appointed a new telecom minister. In 2008, the telecom minister declared that the country was ready to distribute wider spectrum, but not through auctions or conditions. The spectrum was going to be distributed on first-come, first-served basis. That was not the only absurd thing. The price of the spectrum was going to be the same as the last distribution, which had taken place in 2001. This raised many eyebrows, including the ones of National Finance Minister, but everyone let it slide for then. After a bunch of other biased actions, a major chunk of spectrum was given to two companies named Unitech and Swan. If you're an Indian student, you might be wondering that if these companies cracked such massive deals, why haven't you heard of them or their services? That's because Unitech was a company with zero telecom experience. After acquiring the spectrum, they sold almost 60% of their stocks to Telenor and branded themselves as Uninor. They had acquired 25% of the spectrum, but instead of providing qualitative data services, they went for gimmicks like free night calling, and we can guess how that had turned around. On the other hand, Swan also had zero telecom experience. After acquiring the spectrum, they did not even build a single mobile tower. Nothing was there. They had just got the spectrum to share it on higher rates. And as if that wasn't enough, the amount they had acquired was almost 40% of the total distributed band. Overall, 65% of newly opened spectrum went into wrong hands and at some point of time was almost unusable. This resulted in a stagnated situation where mobile phone customers with no improvement in quality of service or no reduction of cost. It also resulted in slower start of internet-powered businesses like e-commerce and video content in India. In year 2011, crime branch investigation took place which ended up in imprisonment of the telecom minister. That's not all. A year later, Supreme Court of India cancelled the spectrum distribution of 2008, claiming it was unethical. After adjusting the figures chronologically, Indian government realized that they had suffered a loss of almost $42 billion. This and other scams also resulted in the loss of then ruling party in 2014 general elections. To put this unethical scam on global perspective, Time magazine called it the second biggest abuse of power in the history of modern world. It is a shame for any industry to be victim of such practices, but the only way to recover from it is to move forward. In the next section, we will explore third generation of mobile communication. Till then, happy learning, and I hope you have a fantastic day.